Hello Kickstarter, Hound backers 1, Hound backers 2, and for all of those of you who are already backers of the book 3, those of you who've been with us for every one of those books, thank you so much for coming back and backing us again, and a big thank you to all of you new backers who've come on so enthusiastically at this final stage of the trilogy. This update is mainly about rewards. I'm Hugh Welshman, I'm the editor of the books and also the publisher of the books. One of the things I've noticed in this campaign so far is that we haven't had very many people selecting the sketchbook. Just to remind you that this is a copy of the sketchbook that we had for the first campaign. And Paul actually did a hand painted cover, well, in ink, an inked cover for every single one of the 50 copies. And inside we had our favourite artwork from book 1. And this time round, it's not going to be Paul designing the book, it's actually going to be Piotr Dominiak, who some of you might know as the head of painting for our film Loving Vincent. There's a couple of paintings in the background from the film Loving Vincent. And Piotr Dominiak, as well as being a very fine painter, also co-designed the end credit book for Loving Vincent, which you'll see at the end of the film when it comes out later this year. So this is the book that he designed for us for that. And additionally, he's also a big comic fan and has been following and backing our Hound series. And so we're inviting him to go through all the archives of Paul's artwork from Hound and to come up with a sketchbook for this final installment of the trilogy. So I really think that that sketchbook will be very worth having, and so just bringing that to your attention in case you want to consider it. We held back 75 copies from the 750 copy runs of the first edition and the second edition of Hound. Here we have first edition of book 1 and the first edition of book 2. So when these ones are gone, they're gone. So it's the last chance to get hold of those. We'll also have prints that are on offer. This is one that I took from book 1 because I thought it was very appropriate to me as an independent producer. And we have some very special rewards this time. Here I'll show you my favourite, which is the Hound of Cuchulainn. Now this was designed by Paul from the book, and it was made for us by one of the fans of the book who makes his living from making high-level replica weapons. And here we go. On the back we have the Hand of Cuchulainn, the red hand, and it's very solidly made, pure leather, brass and wood, very, very heavy. You could probably go into battle with it, although maybe it'd be better to keep it on your wall. So we have some very special rewards like that. And we are right now in the middle of the campaign where it sort of feels like a bit of a desert after the first flurry of activity. And I would like to say, if you're one of those people who know that you're going to back this campaign but haven't got around to it yet, we'd be very grateful if you could find time to do it this week, because the higher we get this week, the more people will get to look at it in the closing stages, and the more people can, become part of what we're doing with the Hound trilogy. If on the other hand you've been looking at the campaign and you have questions and you're sitting on the fence about whether you want to become a backer, I would encourage you to get in contact with me and Paul and Tomek and ask any questions you have, which hopefully will decide you to become part of the Hound trilogy. So that said, we're very grateful for all the people who have already come on board and excited about finishing this trilogy. It is a very twisted and gruesome end to the story, We would like to take credit for coming up with it all ourselves, but as you know, this is an ancient myth, and we're doing a graphic reimagining of it, and hoping to introduce it to this ancient myth to many new people, and also give a fresh approach to people who know the myth already very well. Thank you, Kickstarter.